What's up, everybody? So tonight I'm gonna be doing a video on like the best stores to source from to do retail arbitrage, and these are stores that I source from personally a lot. This is actually basically a video out of my Teachable course that I have on retail arbitrage, but I just figured I would make a YouTube video about it just to give y'all some free knowledge. But this is one of the videos out of my paid course that I have. Which if you're interested, I'll put it in the comments below and you can check it out. Right now I'm doing a founder's membership for $47. It's normally $297. So if you become one of the founding members, you can get in for $47, and you'll see the sales page if you click on the link. It tells you everything that's in the course, but basically teaches you everything from A to Z, no pun intended, Amazon, but from A to Z of everything you'll need for retail arbitrage to sell on Amazon, doing it. So these are stores that I like to source from: pawn shops, thrift stores, Goodwill, yard sales, and estate sales. I don't really do big box stores, but I know a lot of people that do it at big box stores, so I put it on here. And then liquidation. And you could even kind of add like wholesale on here, but that's not really retail arbitrage. Wholesale is kind of considered its own entity of selling on Amazon, so I left it out. But I mean, you could if you wanted to. So let me figure out how to skip to the next slide. Boom. Alright, so pawn shops. This is the main place that I source from. Usually pawn shops and Goodwill, and then like liquidation stores are the three main places I go to. So pawn shops, here's some good stuff you can find in pawn shops. Most of the time it's electronics, because broke people buy expensive electronics and then they get broke because they have bad money management skills, and then they pawn them off, and then you get a good deal on them. You can negotiate prices, so you can do like bundle deals at pawn shops, which is awesome. So you could buy, if you end up getting 5 tablets and 20 video games, you're going to pay a little bit for that, but you're going to get a big discount because you're buying a lot of stuff at once, and most of those people make commission at pawn shops. So the more you buy, the more they're going to give you a good deal. One thing to note, if you buy anything that's not new, so anything from a pawn shop is going to be used, and I consider it used even if unless it's like literally saran wrapped and not opened, then I consider it used. So one really important thing is to test everything that you get from a pawn shop or a thrift store or Goodwill or liquidation or anything. I've gotten 3 bad reviews total just from me not testing stuff because I figured it worked. Because most pawn shops test everything, but every now and then they don't. And that ended up kind of messing me up, but it's whatever. But yeah, pawn shops are a really good place to find stuff. Thrift stores, so they do a lot of sales, and usually stuff is really cheap. It's another place you can negotiate prices, and it's somewhere that's pretty good for books. Goodwill is really good for books. If you have what is that place called? There's a place up north. I don't have any of them here. Savers. I think it's called Savers, but they're really good for books if you live in like the north in Canada. The thrift stores, they have frequent sales. They're good for brand name clothing. I got a Columbia jacket for $3. It's like a $60 jacket. I actually kept it. I didn't even sell it because I just wanted it. But I could have flipped it if I wanted to and made 40, 45 bucks off of it pretty easy. It's good for like name brand shoes. If they're in good condition, you can get like Nikes and Vans and stuff all day at thrift stores. Even though Nike is gated, I'm not sure about Vans. But even if you wanted to, although it's not Amazon, you could sell that stuff on like Poshmark or eBay or Craigslist or even Facebook Marketplace or anywhere. Sometimes you can negotiate at thrift stores. If you end up shopping a lot at one of them and get cool with the people, they'll throw you deals, I'm sure. Goodwill. I love Goodwill, honestly. It's good for cheap sourcing. Most of the stuff in there is under $10. The first Saturday of every month, all my Goodwills in my area do 50% off everything in the store on the first Saturday of every month. So that's a really good time for me to go find stuff. If you have like wealthier areas of town, I don't want to like discriminate or anything like that. My city personally only has 1 Goodwill, but if I go to Nashville, Tennessee, there's like 6 Goodwills, and there's 2 that are in like really wealthy, average median income is like $250,000 area type of town, and that's I find a lot of good stuff there. Yeah, and you never know what you're finding. And that's kind of with thrift stores and pawn shops too. But Goodwill's a little more unpredictable because pawn shops and thrift stores tend to have like them certain things that they keep in inventory. But Goodwill just takes anything that is donated. So it's always good to go check them out. Yard sales and estate sales, another thing. You'll never know what you'll find here. You can get a bunch of awesome deals, or you can find nothing and it's a total bust. But yard selling is just fun to me. It's pretty awesome. Everything's negotiable, and then you can kind of like, here's a little tip. I used to be a door-to-door salesman, but small talk people and like do some research on sales and stuff, like psychology of sales and psychology of people, if you want to go that in deep with it. But you can basically learn different types of personalities and match that person's personality. So, wow, that was a lot. But you can match their personality, and usually they'll like give you better deals and stuff. And it's not really like deceiving them. It's just a sales tactic, even though it does sound kind of deceiving. Big box stores, I personally don't really go to a lot. You can go to them, but I don't really like shopping there. Usually the margins are a lot lower, although you will sell stuff faster because usually it's like stuff that's in at the moment. Didn't know where my hand was going. But if you look in like the clearance aisles and stuff like that, you can usually find some pretty good stuff. And that's what I said here, low profit but faster flips, quick selling items. I think I've read a Forbes article on a dude that actually, he makes like $100,000 a month just selling from like Walmart and Target and like big box stores. He doesn't even do Goodwill or thrift shops or nothing like that. Something else that is good about big box stores is everything is new usually, so you don't have to test it and you can sell it at the new price instead of a used price. Let's see here. Liquidation. So liquidation, I have a couple liquidation stores by me that sell it by the item. There's also liquidation stores that sell by the pallet. I haven't done any pallet liquidation yet, although I think it would be cool to venture into. But I have 2 liquidation stores that sell by item, and basically it's like most of the time returns from big box stores, but it's so much cheaper than they would even put it on clearance in their store. Like I can get usually $40, $50 items that sell on Amazon for $40 or $50 for like $3 to $5 a piece all day long. The only thing is you have to test them thoroughly to make sure that they work because they got returned for some reason. But most of the time I found out that, most of the stuff I get, I test it and it works. It's just people return it because they don't want it or for whatever reason. But liquidation, if you can find a place that does liquidation per item instead of by the pallet, that's a really good way to start with a low investment selling on Amazon. That's it. So there's a little presentation for my course, and there's some really good stores too. Sorry, mind blank. It's like 1 in the morning, and if you can hear, my daughter's still up right now. What? Okay, wait a second. Gosh, she loves the Grinch. She's been so into the Grinch lately. But, sorry, whatever. So, yeah, like, subscribe, share. That was a video that shows you great places to source from for retail arbitrage. And I'll see you guys next time.